So, I guess I'm talking here. That would be my guess. All by myself.
I can pop in a couple of times if you want me to.
That might not hurt.
Okay.
Because I have no idea what I'm supposed to say except hello and thank you and welcome to our little Streamily chat here and signature kind of a thing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hear you guys, or am I going to see anything that you might want to respond to on the chat, or what's up with that. But I wanted to start off by thanking you all. First of all, I really appreciate the fact that you've enjoyed these characters that I've been able to put the voice to, and I'll keep doing it as long as I can because I love doing it. And so this is just a lot of fun, and I'm just really delighted that you guys like it and that I have the opportunity to do it. So I guess then we just start off and kind of go in the order of when you guys ordered these, the order of the order. So that means we're going to start off with Tony. And I don't know, quick question here for my assistant, for Matt. So will they be able to respond if I ask a question? Do we have something up here?
Yeah,
Good morning. Okay.
Yeah, I have the comments on my screen. And
Okay.
you should see it on yours too as well.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Hello, okay. Hello, Disney Inu Yamon. Morning from San Bruno, beautiful. And my favorite Disney movie is a great question because there's so many I love. There's just so, man, some of the animation. I really love Sorcerer's Apprentice for a crazy thing. That's just the animation in that was just so magnificent, and blending that with all the symphonic music was pretty astounding. And there's others I really enjoy, of course, but that one always jumps out to me. I'm looking at the camera now. Hello, camera. I'm trying to read the stuff and look back and forth. Obviously, I'm really good at multitasking. Can you tell? Not. So also, hello, Wolferiski, and Real Yoda, question, who called me sir? How dare you? And so Stream Elements, that's something else. Okay, so then for Tony, if you're on, is there anything that you wanted me to write on here specifically for you, or just sign it and sign it with Hanneman and my name on it, or is there any preference that you had? So no preference. Okay, so far. Tony, are you there? No pressure. I know you've waited so long, and I wanted to do a little something special for you as well. So let me go ahead and sign Mr. Hanneman here, and this is the picture. Which is the easiest way to be seen by them? Up to the smaller, or the web camera, or to the main camera?
Yeah, the main camera works.
Okay, so this is who we're talking about, and then I'll show you after I sign it. Oh boy. And I'll keep looking over here occasionally. Robert England. Maybe. Maybe. And let's see. So, to Tony. I'm in signing mode now. Okay, here we go. Good noise, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's some awesome sound. I want to just shake this up a little more. Okay. Okay. All right. So actually, I'll just get a little darker on this. I think I need signing music. That's what I'm missing out. Okay, so this is what we have here for Tony. There we go with all the things. All right.
Looks clear as day from my end.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Not the signature, the picture. So that's a beautiful thing. And then I'll figure out something at the end, Tony, to add to this for you as well, as I think somebody might have mentioned to you, I hope, or if not, I will. So we've got that, and I'll turn this over to Matt. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. And next up, let's see who I wanted to say. Star Trek or Star Wars, and how is it playing aboard? So I'll answer a couple questions first, if that's all right. I've got where I live about Halloween. Where I live, there's a bunch of little kids. It's a courtyard that there's 2 little kids next door. There's 2 across the courtyard, and there's more than 2. And there's going to be there's already all kinds of Halloween stuff up. The parents have put up, just some amazing stuff, and it really looks like a scary place to hang out. So I may be just scaring the kids for Halloween, or I may be hanging out elsewhere. I haven't really decided yet. I have a whole couple days to figure it out, right? Or at least 2 or 3. So don't know for sure. I'll celebrate in some form. I can guarantee that. So with Bleach coming back, I really hope you get to reprise your role as Byakuya Kuchiki. Let me just say that I recorded the first episode for the new season about a week and a half ago, so yes, I am so fortunate as to keep coming on as Byakuya, and I'm loving it, and the animation looks awesome. Everything about it that I've seen so far looks just really killer, so really looking forward to it. I have a number of more things to record in November. So yeah, I'm back. It's only been 10 years. Did you miss me? So let's see, what else? Yes, it was Star Trek, not Star Wars. And as far as being a Borg, for anybody that doesn't know, those are characters. The movie is Star Trek First Contact, and the Borg are the guys, or men and women, it could be, I guess, realistically, but they are taken over by the Borg mind, and they're just basically, they work for the Queen. They are her worker bees, if you will, and they are not nice people to be around. They've lost any humanity they have, and they just do their tasks and take care of stuff, whether it's repairing a spaceship or killing people that are in the way of them getting things done. So it was a very cool thing to do, because it was such an intense thing. We had to get there at 3 in the morning. A makeup call was at 3 in the morning because it took 5 hours to get fully into makeup. And so that was astounding in its own right. It took almost 2.5 hours to get out of it at the end of the day, and we worked very long days. The costumes were very restrictive. You had to have somebody help you whenever you needed to get in and out of the costume to use the bathroom. You had to have a helper because it was just so much, they were just so almost secured to you that it was hard to move around and get things done. But it was a great experience. It was an amazing time. Sometimes we were working almost 20-hour days, so I made a reasonable amount of money too with the overtime, the golden time, and everything. But it was just a great thing to be on the set there at Paramount at the studio, and coming in every day and being on that set and just hanging out and doing stuff. And I got to do a couple little stunts that I got shot. Actually, Patrick Stewart shot me at one point, and there's an electrical reaction and all that, which was pretty cool. But it was a great experience. I really had a good time, and yeah, that was fun stuff. So what else? Partnered with Doctor Strange. I'm thinking Doctor Strange. If I was going to answer that question, do you want Wiseman partnered with Doctor Strange, Wong, or Scarlet Witch? I'm feeling Doctor Strange. I go back to reading comic books decades ago and really being into Doctor Strange. I remember that for sure. So that's my story on that stuff for the moment. And my name is actually spelled W-O-R-E-N. I usually tell people that just because I think I'm the only one around. But most people spell it Warren without knowing that. So when I introduce myself, I will say, "Hi, I'm Dan Woren." That's Woren. So anyway, I just did that. So let's move on to the next person, the next lovely person, and that is. I can't read. No, it's
There's no name.
no name. Okay. I don't know if you're on this. This is a signature for signing for Caster from Fate Zero. If you are on the call and you'd like me to put your name or anything specific on the picture, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll just sign my name and sign the character's name on it for you. So I'll wait just a second, see if by any chance anybody is here that was the person that requested this.
Yeah, and they also want you to try to not sign on the characters.
I'm going to sign all over the character. Just
All right.
no, I'm kidding. Absolutely no. There's a space. We got it covered here, and in that case, there's not a lot of space to write. So sounds like it'll just be
Probably on the lower half.
lower either here or up here. There's a space there that's not on the character. I think that's the thing, because this is still his outfit, his costume.
Right.
So it looks like it's going to be up at the top there. All right, and no response to that, so here goes the signature then. Here we go, there we go. Okay, no, this one I don't shake up. I'm sorry, some of these you got to shake up to make them work, and some of them they're just going to work fine. So let's move this up here. And here we have that. Boop. I love doing this when it gets so hard to see. Why am I doing
there you
wrong? Okay, there it is. I got a handful of Dan Woren on one side. All right, so I hope that works, and I think it looks pretty good. I love that particular pic too. Okie dokie. All right, Disney has said, "Don't use Haunted Mansion to spend my here we have it. No, I met one of Walt Disney's Imagineers in person." Oh, that's awesome! Wow, been around a long time, Mr. Gurr. That's too funny. Yeah, I just did talking about Yang Newman on Macross Plus. I just did a convention in Torrance. This is like a month ago, and there was a lot of people who were really into that character, and it was a cool character, and we had some really wonderful pictures for Yang also, and thank you so much for the compliments, Mr. or Ms. Official Nerd. Very much appreciate it. Shinji Nakagawa from the original dub of Megazone 23. Wow. That goes back a little ways. But yeah, the Macross stuff was awesome. And of course, that lends me into the realm of Roy Fokker and Yang Newman. And Roy Folker's been very good to me, even though he died, as you all know, that if you followed the show. And he died as a big surprise to me and almost everybody watching it for sure. But I have a habit, I have a history of playing characters that get killed off quickly. And I'd rather that didn't happen, but it tends to. So.
Feel like Sean Bean.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's usually now when I'm cast as a role, generally for anime, I'll be like, so how long does this character live? Do they die right away? Just so I'm prepared for it. So yeah, that's one of those little things. All right, let's go on to the next, which is for Richard, and if possible, put your favorite Hanneman quote. And I did kind of look over some of the quotes that I was thinking about, and so I do have a little something for you for that. So let me do that. Ah, my Digimon voice. Good God, Disney. You saw him back there. And you met Mickey's voice, yes. Awesome, that's great. I have a great picture I took with Minnie Mouse the last time I was at Disneyland. We had a great couple picture. It looked really good. I'm sorry I can't show it to you, but not because there's anything wrong to look at, but I don't have it with me. So let me go ahead and do this to Richard. Okay. I think this one needs white. Forgive me 1 second. Yep. All right, so what quote should I use? All right, crests are a power that dwells in the blood. So that will be the quote, which I'll say now, and hopefully it works. Crests are a power that dwells in the blood, said Professor Hanneman. So here we go. Crests. I apologize for this. We have to do another one because I can't see clearly because the table's black and the picture's black, so I thought I was still writing on the picture. And instead I wrote the last word on partially the table because I'm so talented.
Yeah, don't worry, we got extras.
We got extras.
All right.
I am so good at this. I'll learn to write smaller. All right, take 2 on this. Could I do it this way too? No, it's up here. Okay. I'll get better, I promise. I'm having some fun here and screwing up. Do we have one more picture? Do we have to negotiate for one? If not, I know where they keep them. Unreal.
We do not.
Okay, can you just go ask Joe if we can get another one, please? Is that feasible?
Yeah, I can get one right now.
Okay, great. I'm so sorry.
Uh,
But obviously, it's going to be great when I finally get it right.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Okay, great. So I'm top of the line here, huh? Any other questions, any other thoughts, anything you'd like me to talk about that I know nothing about? I can do that forever. It's difficult when you don't hear anything and you're just kind of waiting for people to text in something or whatever. It's kind of funny. You feel like you're kind of in a little zone by yourself with a camera on you, kind of like a podcast to some degree. So yeah. Well, I don't know if you guys know, I also have the great fortune of doing audiobooks, and I've been doing a lot of fun audiobooks recently, and one that I did just to talk about something was the ultimate history of video games, and it's pretty in depth, going back to all the arcade stuff before there were individual games you could play at home, and all the way up to the present. There's actually 2 volumes. It was a long. I think it ends up being about 41, 42 hours of listening time. So that was all of the month of July. We recorded those 2. But audiobooks are a whole nother thing that gives you an opportunity to play and to be a storyteller, literally and figuratively, as far as doing these various tales that you're given to narrate. But it's quite a bit of fun to create the characters, the sound of the various characters, and So I'm looking forward to doing more of those. I don't have anything scheduled yet, but there'll be more stuff coming up soon. Do you like Michael Crichton? Yes. Yeah, Michael Crichton is wonderful. I love his writing. I would love to narrate some of his stuff. That would be awesome. He's a very good writer. Let's see. Other than your Macross roles and your Bleach roles, in terms of the year, the only other character I've heard your voice are Diane from Sword Art Online, Gene and Neo from Heat Guy. Yeah, I hadn't been doing. I've been doing just an awful lot of audiobooks for the last 6 months or so. This month has been very, very busy for that. And so the Sword Art Online Dine is a lot of fun to play as well. But yeah, I'm still looking to do some more anime stuff, and I think there's some stuff coming up, but I don't know for sure other than the Bleach. And your favorite anime characters and memories voicing them from some of your work like Bleach. Okay, yes, let me do this and get this one signature right. You know, the third time's a charm, they say. Let's hope they're telling the truth. Actually, let's shake this up once more. La, 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 la. All right, Richard, this is it. Crests are a power that dwells in the blood. Crests. Almost, almost. Yay. Okay, now I'll sign on. Okay. Do you understand all that? I think we're good. Yes, I didn't screw it up. Amazing. So that's what we have. I always do this wrong. There we go.
There we go.
Crests are a power that dwells in the blood. Love it. What a good-looking guy. Haha.
Thank you.
All right. So what else did I not answer that I should have been around? I must say, the official underscored nerd, you've definitely seen a lot of stuff I've done. That's kind of crazy. Pretty awesome. Yeah, there's been a lot of random stuff. Also, I don't know if you guys know that I worked on Lupin the Third on a few different things, and that was as Jigen. And also, if you've seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I had the distinct pleasure to play Rudolph von Stroheim, who is, from what somebody described it on their, I think on their webpage or something, they described him as the only Nazi they have ever liked, because he's so out there and so crazed and so, goofy in some degree. He turns into a cyborg with a huge machine gun attached to his one arm. And he's just over the top completely, and it's just such a fun character to play, spouting very, brilliant things like, German engineering is the finest in the world! He gets excited about that. So, anyway, there's just something else you might want to look out for if you have any interest in that. Let's see, who do we have next? Put something that only Igor would say. Well, there you go. Danilo. Yes, back to the white pen. Yeah, I got a little something. Yeah, stop it. All right. boat by his feet. All right. Let's see. Sign here. This is fun. Yeah, that worked. All right, let me put the quote at the bottom. This place exists between dream and reality, mind and matter. Yes. Mm-hmm. Here we are. Let's see. Where's the best place? Okay, that's right. This dream and reality. Mind and matter, yes. Really good at squeaking, huh?
Yeah, the pig pens definitely do that.
I am the squeaky guy. All right, I think that worked. And I didn't screw it up. What? What? Let's see. Hey, still can't do this right though. Let's see. All right, almost. And that is something Igor would say along the lines of, "This place exists between dream and reality, mind and matter." I think he would say that. Not too many other people would.
I think it would.
Thanks, Danilo.
Yeah, which Igor did you play?
Hmm?
Which Igor?
Persona 1 through 4,
Oh, okay.
all of those.
Nice.
Yeah. And then my story, to anyone that wonders why nothing beyond that as far as Persona goes, I don't have the honest answer. My theory is because the Japanese actor who played the same character, who played Igor in Japan, passed away right at the end of Persona 4, before Persona 5 was put together. I think they basically obviously replaced the Japanese character, but felt that it was necessary to replace the voice for the American, for the dubbed version, because there's a different voice for the Japanese version. So that's, to my understanding, what happened. And ironically, they hired 3 different guys to do that role over a period of time, all friends of mine. So it was pretty bizarre. But anyway, that's what the story is on that. So what else have I not answered? The action film question. Cobra, yes. Yeah, the Sylvester Stallone movie. The Real Yoda is asking about Cobra, which was a space pirate, or however you want to call him. He was that was along the lines of a '70s action hero, kind of like a James Bond with very not so subtle sexual overtones, because he had a round bed that rotated, and he was, he always had a little cheroot, like a little Swisher Sweet, like a cigar, but a very thin cigar that he always had in his mouth, and he was just way too hip and way too cool, and it was so much fun. That was such a fun character. We actually went out, and I went to the liquor store and bought some little cheroot cigars, some Swishers, I think, so I could do it and record it in my mouth, because we tried it at first with just talking with my finger in my mouth and with a pencil, and it didn't work, and it's like, okay, let's go to the liquor store and get me a cigar. Let's do it. Coming back. So yeah, that was great fun, and that was, Carl Masick again, who did Robotech, and Carl was just a great guy and just a wonderful man to work with, and so bright. We had a wonderful time on that. So I liked the action stuff in the 80s. There was some good action stuff in the 70s as well, but yeah, the 80s I think was more my feel for action movies. That was quite a bit of fun. I worked on Beastmaster 2, and that was an action movie in some ways. My particular role was a highway patrolman that that gets switched over to the other land through the time tunnel kind of a thing. And so that was quite a bit of fun doing that. And I ended up working the other guy that was the cop that was my partner, was a good friend of mine, Carl Cefalio, an incredibly talented man that's stunt man. Now he's doing stunt coordinating, but one of the very few people I've ever met that's a phenomenal stunt man and also a very, very good actor. So shout out to Carl. What a talented guy. So, okay, welcome to the Velvet Room. You bet I can write that for Peck. You know, I may even say it. Who knows? I've been known to say it once or twice. This looks like it needs a darker one, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe this brown would go off good on here with the brown that's there. What are your thoughts? Or more black? What do you think?
I would do black.
Well, fine. Why did I ask you? You disagree with me. How dare you? No, I'm
I'm
totally
sorry.
kidding. So, for Peck, okay. I love the little blue butterfly on the top of this, too. I think that's just so very cool.
Yeah, it's a nice touch.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Mm-hmm. Peck, are you watching now? If you are, I got a quick question for you. Would you mind if I signed Igor or my name on Igor's forehead, or the top of his head? He doesn't even have a forehead, he just has a giant head. Or would you prefer that I didn't do that, and it's no problem either way? It's just there, and it's a possibility. So if you're on, great, and if you're not, I will not do it, just in case that would not be what you'd want. Meanwhile, I'll put the quote on first. Okay.
Yeah, we'll give him
What's that?
yeah, I meant, yeah, we'll give him a few seconds.
Sure. Because we know how incredibly good at signing these I am. Yeah. Okay. So now I can put my name. Not much we can do. Maybe I'll do
Yeah, I don't
that. Okay, no problem. I will respect the possibility that you'd like that to be a bald head without any writing on it, if you're there. And if not, I still do. All right, so. All right. So this is what this ended up.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm digging a little butterfly, I gotta be honest. It's like it flew in just for the signature. Dig it, dig it. All right, I hope you like it as much as I do. Okay. And, that's what we got, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Were we talking about doing another quick?
Oh, yeah, another print for Tony, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Do we have a separate Hanneman pick, like another one of these maybe, or any other Hanneman other than the blue one, just to give him a couple? Does that?
Yeah, I'll be right.
Oh, yeah.
I think there was another one that.
Okay, great.
I'll get that one right.
I'll just hang out and continue to sound like I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm so good at it. This is improv at its finest or its worst, depending on how you want to see it. I have no idea what I'm saying here. But at least I have an audience, however big or small it is. I hope you guys are having a great day and a reasonable week, and that you all are prepared for Halloween or something like it. It's just finally gotten to a point here in LA that it's not so disgustingly hot, and I'm really appreciating that. It's like this is actually feels like it might even be fall or winter or something, which is amazing. Because that heat, we had like 100 and, Jesus, it was like 104 or 5 a week in a row.
Oh yeah.
It
not
was
fun.
just nasty. So this is This is a beautiful thing. All right, so, Tony, I'm gonna send you this one as well. Just thank you for your patience, and I apologize that it took this so long to get this back to you. Just stuff kept coming up, and that's when I was really working so much that I couldn't even get out, practically. Which is not a terrible thing when the checks start coming in. So, all right, let me sign this. Squeaking my way. If I was good at drawing, I'd draw a nice little face on here saying thank you. But if I did that, you'd go, what the hell is that? And why did you do that on my picture? So I'm not going to draw any faces on it. And this is the other one then. It's Mr. Hanneman. I'm getting a little better at this.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yay. Okay. Yay, yay, yay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Already been to 2 Halloween parties. Real Yoda, I have a problem. No, I have a question for you. What would you guess is my favorite color, out of curiosity? Meanwhile, I'll be talking about Halloween parties. So was the party at Disney World pretty amazing? Or which one was better, I guess, Disneyland or Disney World? And to answer the Real Yoda question, I do like purple a lot, but what you're seeing here is my favorite color, basically, which is blue. I just gravitate towards it. I'm not sure. I keep looking at the wrong screen, sorry. I just gravitate towards blue. I just find it can look, regal to some degree, like purple, but it also is just, maybe I just like the sky a lot. I don't know. But it's always been blue. And there's very few colors I don't wear, but I don't wear yellow very often. I wear red sometimes. I think it looks good on me. I don't wear it that much, but yellow and orange, not so much. Those are colors that I don't seem to be attracted to them, or vice versa. But that's my color story, and I'm sticking to it. So, yeah. As far as Godzilla stuff, it's fine. I'm not a huge fan of it. I appreciate what's being done with it, but I just was never, deeply into the giant monsters in Tokyo. I'm not sure exactly why, but that's just something that I was never deeply involved with. I understand that a lot of people love it, and then I don't have any disregard for it. It's just not something that I jump on for the opportunity to watch. Truth be told. So yeah, I admit it. Godzilla probably doesn't like me. That's my story on that. So, any other questions I might be able to answer, or anything you want to throw at me that I might be able to reply to? No guarantees. Like I said, this is improv, and sometimes you're very good at improv, and sometimes it just you die. I'd rather not die, so I will do my best. Other than that, you know, if we're almost at the end of this, I really hope you guys have a tremendous weekend and the rest of the year. Please, you know, again, know how much I appreciate your support and interest in my career. Without a fan base, you know, I'm not sitting here in front of a camera, that's for sure. So I just want you to understand how important you are to me and how much I appreciate that. So thank you. And yeah, I'm so lucky to be doing this. This is, you know, just one of the things that I do. And being an actor, it gives you so many different realms to play in, whether it's on camera or voiceover or any number of different things. And I'm just so lucky and fortunate to be able to do this and to just love it to death. I mean, as I've said before, I get paid to be a little kid, and that's pretty amazing. I get paid to play. And so I am just so grateful that I've had this fortune, and it continues. You know, people go, are you going to retire, to other people, and to me, but not too often. And my reaction to retirement is go, why? Why would I want to do that? I'm doing something I love, and I'm making a living at it. I don't want to quit that. I have no desire to retire, and no reason to. So there's some more truth I can throw at you about me. Uh-oh, somebody's texting me. Uh-oh. Could be good. This is, it just reminded me, I'll tell you a really quick story, a small world story. The Igor character on Persona, as some of you know, is you know, a well-received character, and I love doing it. And one of my neighbors has a couple of sons that are autistic, and one of them is very much into Persona, and I had no idea about that. And they made a costume for him from one of the Persona characters for this Halloween thing, and he wore the costume, and my buddy, the neighbor, you know, sent me a picture of it, and I said, well, that looks awesome. And he said, you know, I don't know if you know what Persona is, but it's a show that my son loves, and so we made this costume for him, and I said, well, yeah, I know a little bit about that. And so I said, you know, as a matter of fact, if I were to say something from the show, it would probably be something like, and then I went, welcome to the Velvet Room. And I heard his son, who was on it was on speakerphone, and I heard his son going, no way, no way, no way, you can't, no, no. And so I just signed and autographed a picture for his son yesterday, and he was just so blown away. But what a small world, what are the odds that your neighbor, you know, does the voice for one of the characters that your kids love. So that was just a really nice, I felt really great about that because it made him happy, you know, and so that was just very cool. So small world, you just never know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, absolutely true. It's just so crazy. You like to learn about one. Interesting. Tom's River. Wow, I didn't expect that. Tom's River is a town in New Jersey that I did an audiobook about, God, 10 years ago, probably, approximately that. But it's just fascinating. There was, it's about industrial waste, basically. It's a true story about how the one company was dumping all this waste into the water, and it ended up poisoning a number of the children and giving them cancer. And it was in particular about this one kid that had been battling this since he was a little kid, and nobody could figure out what was wrong with him. But it's an amazing story, and you know, the research that went into it, and finding out what it caused. You know, all the efforts that they made to try to determine what the cause of the problem was, that children were getting cancer, which made no sense. And so they found out, and you know, people went to jail, and they did something about it. But it was a very fascinating story and very well written. Yeah, Tom's River, I love that book because it was, the author really did the job as far as, you know, telling the story about what happened and telling it in a way that was pretty captivating to listen to or to be able to read. So I'd encourage anybody that's interested in something like that, that's a very good book for that. And I'm pretty good at narrating audiobooks. I'll be egotistical and say that, only for the fact that I've got a fair amount of awards and I've recorded over 200 of them. So I have a little bit of experience with it. But that's a whole nother thing that again, I'm so fortunate to get to do these things and make a living at it. So thank you again for your support. So there. What else that I might want to answer? What is your home place, Yoda? I'm sorry. Is that Tom's River? That's I didn't quite understand that on the text. Can you explain that to me, or not? There's no pressure. So yeah, that's kind of what I know for the moment. It meant that it was my hometown. Oh, okay. Right, that's great. Yeah. Well, in that case, for you in particular, I think you would learn a lot about what was going on back in, I think it was the early 90s, or it might have been the 80s. I honestly forget, late 80s, early 90s when that was happening. But yeah, it's like a detective story to find out what's the cause and then who's doing it. And there was some mafia people involved with it at one point where they were dumping stuff. So it was quite an interesting thing. So yeah, I highly recommend it, and the producer the producer of that particular project also lived in Tom's River, knew it very well. So that was quite a connection to him, and he was very kind as far as saying how much he liked what we did with it. So very, very good. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that, and and I don't know much about Tom's River at this point, but I know, a little bit. So enjoy. The one thing I know about New York and the eastern states up in that area is that in the fall, I was doing a show there in 1985 at Madison Square Garden, and we were rehearsing at SUNY at the university there, upstate, and the colors in New York, upstate New York, and I'm sure in some places in New Jersey as well, the vegetation, the colors in fall, I saw colors I'd never seen before. It just blew my mind. It was so amazing color, shades of green and reds, and wow, it was amazing. So that's something stunning that you guys on the East Coast get to see a lot more than we see here on the West Coast, regarding the vegetation and the people complain that there's no seasons in California. And to some degree, yeah, the seasons are, we get Santa Ana winds, and then we get fires, and then we get not enough rain, and then it gets kind of cold, but not really cold, but there's not that much snow unless you go to the mountains. So yeah, I can see that's a complaint or a valid observation that there's no seasons per se, but man, I was just so blown away by the beautiful, beautiful fall colors in upstate. So that's my story about upstate New York. I don't know much else. Yeah, again, thank you guys so much. I think we're going to just kind of fade this out. Yeah, I think, yeah, you're gesturing at me. Again, please stay tuned, see what I'm up to if you care, and no pressure, obviously, ever. But I really do sincerely appreciate your support, and I'm so glad that we're able to have a moment here, and I wish I could have heard you, but at least I can read something and see what you're thinking about. Another quick question here. I guess the question being, is older anime better than the new ones? I haven't, I kind of grew up doing the older stuff. I guess older would be like 40 years or something. Yeah, that seems older anime, like with the Robotech, and I think the first thing that I worked on is a really, I'm so proud of this. I believe it was called D'Artagnan and the Three Musketeers. Yeah. And I played Richelieu, who was a advisor to the king. And Cam Clark played D'Artagnan. There's a lot of people that you probably know in there. But that was the kind of the starting point for me in this regard. So that's kind of older animation. I mean, I appreciate there's stuff in both genres, the newer stuff and the older stuff that you know you can really appreciate. And I think the character development was really excellent in the earlier animes, and maybe not as much so now. But that's being a little judgmental. Oh, for crying out loud! Excuse me 1 second. I'll send them a message. I can't talk right now. And I did it. Okay. Yeah, I'm blown away by it. Just for the perfect example is the Bleach, is the animation on this new Bleach series is just killer. And the fan base is really, you know, anxious to see it. We did at Anime Expo in LA here, the convention in July. They did a preview of it, and I did a small panel with Michelle Ruff, who plays Rukia, who plays my sister on the show. And they put it in the biggest room there at the convention center, which seats 3,500 people, and there was still standing room only. For crying out loud. Everybody now, sorry I can't talk now. I'm telling everybody that. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Okay, I told them. That's kind of what, God, I lost my train of thought trying to figure out what these people wanted. My phone is like distracting me. But yeah, it was amazing. The fan base, they were just so, you know, pumped for this show, for Bleach. And the previews they showed on a giant screen, and they were just magnificent. I mean, the animation was just like, damn, that's impressive stuff. So yeah. And then one other thing I'll suggest to you, if you're interested at all, if you haven't seen it, the show Fate Zero that I played, Gilles de Rais, or Castor, is a dark show because it's about a serial killer and killing people, kids even. That's, you know, something that's just disgusting. But the animation, the music, everything involved with that was just phenomenal. And so I don't get to play, you know, really bad guys that often, and this character is crazy, and that's even more fun. He gets called up from the past to help this current serial killer learn how to be better at his job. So it's twisted, it's tweaked, but man, everything about it as far as the production and the writing, and there's some very talented people working on it. I would highly recommend it for that reason, but it's very dark. So just a little heads up in case you're taking a look at it or you feel like you might want to. All right, well listen, I'm gonna, obviously now I got people wanting me to reply back to them, so I'm gonna go ahead and make these calls back. But thank you. Have a tremendous weekend. Hope I get to meet you at some point at a convention or someplace. I will be doing a few different things coming up. I've got something coming up here in LA on the 19th and the 20th at Pasadena convention there, and then I have something that I know about in April in Texas. But beyond that, I'll make a little more notification. I'm really bad about social media, and I apologize for that. I'm trying to get better. I just don't put out a lot of stuff there. I guess I'm kind of private, but at the same time, it's hard to be private when you're doing a public business. So anyway, I'll try to be better about notifying, you know, putting up stuff when I'm going to be traveling around doing autographs or whatever. So again, thank you, and just have a tremendous weekend. Have a great Halloween, and please take care. Take care of yourselves. All right? Thanks so much for calling in. Appreciate it. Well, actually, calling in, whatever this is called. Zooming in, almost. Texting in. So thanks again, and please take care, and hope to see you. All right? Last questions now.